What's going on, Shadow Fighters? It's Boss Modern right here, and welcome to a teletype.in by Evreni Peretsiatsko. I don't want to try to read that correctly, even though I have learned a little bit about the Cyrillic letters. But anyways, this is the closed beta test article for Shadow Fight Arena, and I may not be intending to read this, but it's actually important for me in the other part to actually read this so that I know what kind of development Shadow Fight Arena is going into. And I also want to share with you guys so that you guys can also know a little bit about the Shadow Fight Arena themselves. So, what we got here is the closed beta test update 0.3.1, which is the CBT that several YouTubers have already been accessing to play. Those players can play the game, and they're sharing all the content, some of the content, and also present all the characters and so on. But here is the balance changes that I was going to be talking about, and in which I found like several years, not several years, but several days ago. Speaking of which, so what we got here is greetings, dear players. We try to constantly improve Shadow Fight Arena based on your feedback. In this new update, you will encounter these changes: improved network code. There'll be fewer match suspensions due to connection issues, and more optimization. Also, now the graphics presets should be auto-chosen more correctly. Location-specific soundtracks added, which is also cool, and bugs that appear when dodging the opponent's ranged attacks fixed. So apparently, when we dodge the opponent ranged attacks, when we dodge ranged attack and a rather bug occurred. Now, I haven't been watching too much Shadow Fight Arena, but I know quite a bit of what it is. Improved network code, that means that we're on our way to stepping closer into finalizing the product, but they may still have a long way to go. They may still have some way to go despite that. And more optimization so that the graphic presets can be auto-chosen, more fitting for my own part. For example, if I were to play this game, maybe the game would have chosen medium high, for example. But really, I know my device can handle ultra graphics because I've been trying to play very high graphics on several other games, and I can last very long with it. So that's one thing I'm happy to know about these graphics, because part of the game style comes in graphics as well. I want to see some realistic looks. As for this game right here, it definitely brings some realistic looks with their next generation, I should say, their next step into having great quality to their game and also have great looks. So they're moving towards realism, which is something I do appreciate that they try to do for the mobile devices right here. Now, this might be ironic because they kind of achieved that already with several animations that was rendered in console realism, let me say it that way. It was several clips that I just watched several years ago about 3 clips with each of the factions doing special moves, and when I looked at the character themselves, yeah, they actually look completely realistic. Almost photorealistic, if I want to say it that way, almost realistic as the real world. But it looked similar. It looked in the same style as of, let's say, NetherRealm Studios games and Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. So let's just move on, because the important things I want to share to you guys, although it might not be intended for us to read, it is the balance changes, because only beta testers know about this. But if we know the changes, we perhaps can know what the final product is going to be. Although this kind of spoils it, you might say. But since Shadow Fight Arena is being shared across the YouTube, it doesn't really matter that much for my own part. That's why I'm sharing to you guys as well. So for the Emperor, they're working a full rework for the Emperor, and the update is the first step for this rework. Balance changes. So Emperor's and Shadow Beast's physical damage is now equal. Now decrease Shadow Beast's damage. So basically, Shadow Beast may have gotten higher damage whenever you trigger the Shadow Beast. By the way, entering Shadow Form for Emperor. So whenever the player enters Shadow Form for Emperor, I know that when they press the Shadow button, they change to the Beast, and now Scrap with Claws like a Feral Fury, all that stuff, and now apparently Shadow Beast happen to deal higher damage, which I do find noticeable in several videos about players playing the Emperor. I do find that the Shadow Beast is dealing high damage, and also considering that the Shadow Beast will have lifesteal on their way as well. So let me just sorry for the background sound, but we're just gonna continue. So Shadow Beast's health is increased. That is interesting. And Shadow Beast's health now displays correctly. Now Emperor and Shadow Beast have their own health bars. So basically they have their own separate health bars. And Shadow Beast's health is more tankier and not dealing more damage, as I suppose. And then Shadow Beast's range attack cooldown increased, so they have more cooldown of growing spikes that you prick onto your opponent. Shadow Beast's shadow energy gain increased, okay. And Shadow Beast's shadow abilities damage increased. Now that is something fishy right there, because how Shadow Beast can actually throw shadow abilities is to fill up the shadow bar once. It's working similarly to Fire Guard, Sakura said. You name those kinds of sets, you name those kinds of mechanics. So whenever Shadow Beast shows up, he can only do shadow abilities one at a time, and he can only do that whenever he fills the shadow bar, which again will also trigger some kind of shadow heart beating in the chest of the Shadow Beast, and that's when you know you can do a shadow ability, and also a cue for the enemy as well. Health recovery decrease in Shadow Beast form. I'm sorry right there. I actually thought, okay, so this is the lifesteal that they're talking about. I'm pretty sure it's the lifesteal they're talking about. Beast Lung and Smell of Terror talents and now heal Emperor equal as Shadow Beast. Okay, so Smell of Terror, I kind of forgot what it was, but Beast Lung, I do know for a fact it is whenever Emperor could only do strong attack, strong physical dynasty attack, but whenever he has Beast Lung talent, he can jump up and do the Beast Claw attack and gain health from that. And Shadow Beast transformation explosion damage now recover its health, okay? Transformation explosion damage increase, and while explosion talent damage is also increased, and Shadow melee effect is now stronger. Survival of the fittest talent now recovers 50% health. Now, what it does recover, I'm not entirely sure because I haven't been playing the beta test, although I would love to. Helga. We were also working on the full rework for Helga. This balance is a temporary measure to improve the gaming experience. Attack damage rebalance. Shield of Light duration reduced. And Shield of Light duration given by his Shield of Laughter talent reduced. I'm not even surprised that they reduced the duration of Shield of Light, because Shield of Light is lasting long, gives her the temporary invulnerability whilst dealing more damage to her opponent. So the Shield of Light, whenever she runs out of health and has that's when she becomes an annoying little bug and try to demolish her opponents. Although you can actually evade her attacks, but when you are within the damage sphere, that's when you pretty much cannot avoid her attacks, because she can try to pressure with the damage sphere that she has. So health restored by Shield of Healing talent reduced, and damage dealt by Shield of Burning talent reduced. Yeah, that's the Shield of Burning that I was talking about, because if you have Shield of Burning, you can pretty much pressure and damage the enemy whilst they might be jumping past, but they will get hit a little bit by the Shield of Burning. And also bonus damage given by Sword of Light talent reduced. So pretty much what I read right here is everything being reduced by Helga. So they just puff down her power of the talents and also her attack damage. And also a little bit more right here. Smite no longer triggers after Helga is defeated, apparently. At occasions, Smite triggers when she was defeated. And visual effect of Smite shot talents is fixed. So maybe sometimes the visual effect did not show up because of some other bugs. Maybe. Jet. Now, these are smaller changes, man. The major changes was on Helga and the Emperor because they have very strong talents that can. Oh, sorry. They have very strong talents that can change the game, that can change the way to play the game. They basically change a little bit of playing the game. Well, besides Helga, because we have this kind of bonus, we have this kind of immortality, invulnerability thing when in Shadow Fight 3. So in Jet, so her physical damage is reduced, Shadow Harmony effects partially rebalanced, and now light refraction invisibility is lost from any unblocked attack, regardless of kinetic shield talent. And also visual effects improve, so I can tell that. Although you already mentioned that the realistic qualities, that your graphic quality is going to be increased, so visual effects is a part of it. So I guess I don't know if you should mention it, but you mention it right now, so okay. Reflex Talent now triggers on any fall, not just from critical attacks. So apparently Reflex does something on a fall. I haven't even read all of the talents she can do because I don't have the test yet. Shang the Monk, physical damage reduced. Now weak points talent increases shadow power when Shang deals damage. Interestingly, weak points wasn't it whenever you hit him with a bow, and wasn't it whenever, because I saw recently when you hit him with a bow you get more damage. You get more damage with this shadow power, I suppose that happens. I'm pretty sure it's about that. And weak points talent shadow power gain is reduced, so a little bit less shadow power gain. And shadow power is probably increased shadow ability damage, if I want to assist that. Kibo, small change. Physical damage reduced, and Shadow Excellent talent Shadow Form duration is reduced. So the Shadow Excellence, wasn't it whenever she gets knocked out, she becomes this shadow ghost and are invulnerable, and she becomes invulnerable to any attacks. I think that's that. And Ironclad, only high pain tolerance talent Shadow Defense is increased. Okay. So pretty much the Shadow Defense is increased. Just gonna make Ironclad more dangerous, despite being a mortal looking brawler. He has several talents, like the Stubbornness, which increases his defense whenever he gets hit, and he can use all of that for regen whenever he enters shadow form, and he can also charge up. He has talents that can charge up his fist at occasions to land an unblockable crit. And he also has non-stop, which is to make him ignore any ranged attack, even the Emperor's Shadow Spike, which is really neat if you don't want to try to dodge and get staggered. You may just be like, oh, I just take the damage, I don't mind, because I have a lot of defense, a lot of stagger, a lot of stubbornness. Marcus, Absolute Control talent now also increases Marcus's damage for the duration of the talent. So I don't know what actually Absolute Control is, because many things, again, I don't even know, but at least I get to know the name of these talents, because I know that heroes have different talents. Whenever they level up, they can get different talents up and up and up to their maximum potential. Yuka Shade. No, I forgot. Healing Invisibility talent now triggers correctly. Interesting. So Healing Invincibility now triggers correctly. I don't know about that. The Healing Invincibility, what does it trigger correctly? Because apparently from the testers, they said that this talent is not triggered correctly. Healing invincibility, I guess it's about Marcus being invincible and also heal at the same time. It might be the shield. It might be that those shield talents that we're talking about. I think it's about that. Yuka and Shade. Shade's loyalty talent reworked. Now it triggers whenever Yuka falls, not just from critical hits, and immediately recharges Shade's cooldown instead of automatically launching Shade. So apparently Shade's loyalty automatically launched Shade to scrap whenever Yuka falls down from a crit. But now the way it triggers is it will recharge Shade's cooldown instead of just instantly throw Shade onto the opponent whenever she falls down. Lucky Shade talent rework. It received a new name, Sharpened Claws. And its effect changed to if Yuka successfully hits her opponent with a heavy attack, Shade's next attack will be critical. So that's the only talent that got a name change and also description change. Now we know what it is, so that is something. So apparently if Yuka hit her opponent with the strong attack, which is the only attack that has a special red effect, then Shade's next attack can be critical. So you can chain together a heavy attack and launch Shade, and that will be instantly a crit. Asuma is actually a neat one if you want to prevent people from using Shadow Energies. Now, Shadow Burn talent now doesn't trigger after your opponent is defeated. I guess the Shadow Burn also triggered whenever the opponent was knocked out, so that they lost more Shadow Energy, and that was pretty unfair though, because why burn Shadow Energy when the opponent is defeated? They should be not burned out anymore because they're burnt out in power and stuff. So that's for fair games. And Kate Never Surrendered talent now can't restore health past the 30% mark. So Never Surrender, is that like some kind of final times? No, is that some kind of low health end game for that character to just never surrender, restore some health, and actually make Kate last longer? I'm pretty sure that is. Man, there's so many things, because it's mainly of talents that I don't really know that much about, but I do know what the characters can do. I do partially know what the characters can do, and I want to share this news to you guys so that you guys know what's up with the beta test right here. And the developers were saying that they're going to be probably launching a closed beta test global opening for everyone to register, including me, including you, including everyone. Yes, it's everyone. And we may have a chance to play the game whenever that time comes by. And until then, this has been the teletype post right here. And I hope you guys did enjoy all of these reading of half nonsense for me, because I don't play this game yet. But I'm definitely looking forward to how this will unfold. I'm definitely looking forward to when I'm able to play this game. So I do appreciate all of these changes that they have done. Although I'm kind of puzzled that all of these changes was rebalancing, and also involves reducing some of the the potential ability, reducing the ability of the talents. So that's that. So hope you guys did enjoy this one right here. And if you guys did, be sure to hit that like button to show some support. And if you're new and enjoy my overall content, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you'll become a part of the Boss Mod community. This is the small piece of news that we just covered right here, which for me have taken forever to try to describe and prescribe, read through all, and actually know what the developers have changed for this upcoming first PvP game developed by themselves. And until then, I have another video, which is the final take I did on the Big Splash event, because I know the Dangerous Show event has shown up, and therefore I want to share this one before I launch the Dangerous Show. So be sure, be patient, stay tuned, and I'll catch you guys in another one.